How y'all doing? Um, I want to say that today's um kind of society as a whole, all of it, America is very, very, very sexualized. You can't do anything, speak to anyone without the idea of sex coming up. Example. Um, I'm standing in the park yesterday. Um, with my natural hair, and I was wearing, my outfit was really cute, and a guy, I was talking to one of my guy friends and a female friend, and another one of my female friends who came up afterwards. I'm gonna have to call him back. And a guy walks up with his dog, and he, daps his friend off, the guy that we were talking to, and he completely ignores me and my friend. And there's the one girl that I guess he found attractive, and he kind of just shook her hand like, "Hey, miss," and then just kind of we just faded into the background. We might as well have been blades of grass just standing there. And I realized that he probably had no respect for women, but only saw them as sexual objects. Because, I mean, honestly, if you can't even say hi out of respect for a woman to her, and you only said hi to the woman you deemed ripe enough to probably fuck, which I'm sure was going through his mind, because, it was quite obvious. Um, that's just, it's crazy. But then again, that's just my intro to what my real topic is, which is feminism destroying my family. Now, what I mean by that is feminism destroyed kind of the dream that I had from my family. Like I said in my previous videos, I'm first generation American, and my grandmother was raised, she had 5 kids, had only one in the hospital. All the other 4 were home births with a midwife, and the way they do it back in the day. That's how it should be done. That's the healthiest way to do it. Like, just get it done in the bathtub. But anyway, she stayed home and she took care of the 5 kids. Everything was done by hand. She washed by hand, hung dry the clothes, cooked from scratch. Like, got the chicken, cut the chicken's head off, plucked the chicken, boiled the chicken, de-gut the chicken, and all that shit. So just done by hand, and everything was cooked. She washed the clothes. Even diapers weren't disposable. You had to kind of clean diapers and, shit like that. And my grandfather, if my grandmother said something, it was the law. He didn't make decisions, well, he made decisions on a business level, like financially, because of course he was the breadwinner, he was the moneymaker. If the kids came up to him and was like, "Dad, can I have this?" or whatever, he'd say, "Ask your mother." And whatever she said, that was that. There's no fighting against that shit. They disciplined the kids, beating them. I don't know if I believe in beating, but still, my grandmother has a deep spirit. She raised them right. They were top of the line, valedictorian kids, and all of them do well for themselves, very well, including my mother. That is that's my role model. My mom had a crazy job, so it was like she came home around 7 o'clock at night or 8 o'clock at night, and she traveled a lot. She left the country to go, because that's what her job was. She had to leave the country a lot, and I was basically raised by my grandmother after my mother and father had the divorce, and of course again they divorced because he cheated on my mother and had 2 kids for another woman. So, and you really don't know who those brothers are, because my dad is from the South. He's not from outside the country. My mom came to this country when she was 17 and joined the military, and met him while she was in the army. So then it doesn't matter where you find, anything can happen. I'm not saying all brothers are fucked up, because I don't believe that. I don't believe that, not one bit. But yeah, that's how that worked out. What was I talking? Oh, my grandmother is my role model. The 5 kids, she raised them on her own. They came up beautifully. And that's how you raise kids. You have to raise them yourself to know how they're going to come up and, whatever, whatever. So feminism is a product of, I believe, about the 50s, 60s Reaganomic era. And sorry, I'm chatting too. It's weird. I'm sorry. I'm being rude. I'm being so rude. Feminism started, like I said, it started in like the 19th century in Europe, but it then kind of came over here. And the thing about that is, obviously, coming from Europe, it was a white woman's idea. And around World War II was when the women were like, we can all kind of get out there and do our thing, and we can all be part of society. We can function as equals, and we can work, and of course, we achieved that. Me personally, I don't even believe women wanted to do that. But then you had your women who believed they were better off without men and shit like that, and just wanted to be independent or feel like they didn't want to be with a man. Feminism, to me, no offense, but it strikes me as a lesbian thing. I believe the lesbians started the feminism movement because, of course, lesbians, all they need is other women. But if you're with another woman and nobody's making money because women don't belong in the workplace, per se, and you can't really, it doesn't work like that. Because how the hell are you going to make money if you want to be a female with a female, if you're both supposed to be housewives? Now, of course, so that brought along the whole change and everything, and we got our feminism, and then it got to the point where the businesses were booming, the taxes were rising because of so many hands in the workplace, and consumerism increased by 500%, and of course it came to the point where even in the media they started to propagandize, because of course you make more money when more women are working. It was propaganda to spew out negative, information or a negative bias towards the housewives. Like, it became kind of like the housewife became the target. They started to degrade the housewives. Oh, you're nothing but a housewife. Even in movies today and shows today, you see shit like, oh, you're just a housewife. Anybody could cook and anybody could clean, and then shit like that. So feminism ruined my chance of having 6 kids, which is what I want to have. 6 kids and kind of being a housewife, because that's nearly impossible unless I find a rich man, which would have to be my goal, which would then make me a gold digger. You feel what I'm saying? So that kind of, already fucked me over in so many ways. So now I cannot be a housewife if I wanted to be. Not in this country anyway. Another thing that was brought about, which was women's liberation. And the beginning of my video, when I talked about the guy who didn't give a fuck about me and my other friend because we were just kind of, I guess we weren't sexual objects in his eyes, so therefore we didn't even fucking matter. So it was that kind of thing. And liberation. Again, the lesbians with their open sex. Now, I'm not anti, what is that? No, wait, what's the word? A homo hater. I don't know what they call them. Homophobics. I don't mind lesbians. I have lesbian friends, gay guy friends, and I don't. It's already come to pass. So to each his own. Because there's no way my dislike for homosexuals is gonna change anything at all, because it's not. It's really not. It's just gonna kind of outcast me, and people are gonna say, oh, you're a faggot hater, or you're no good, or it'll just put me in that category of the people who are the extreme radicals that gay bash and all that shit. So I mean, I accept it because not that I don't have a choice, but they're people, they're human beings. They may be, whatever their reason for their homosexuality is their reason, I don't know them from Adam, and so I can't just go in and say, oh, you can't be homosexual, because then I can't have a family. But, oh, it looks like I'm going to have to continue this with part 2, so, I'll be back.